and gentlemen, welcome back. For those of you where this is your first time, welcome. I am a tarot reader, intuitive tarot reader, a real thoroughbred psychic. Um, I'm here today on behalf of all of mankind, okay, with a warning and a message for tarot readers, okay? My purpose for coming today, hold on. My purpose for jumping on this live today is because I'm so sick and tired. And I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of all of these readers who continue to call a Queen of Cups a feminine energy, or excuse me, a female. I'm so tired of hearing people refer to the Empress as a woman. Okay? Wait, no, that's not true. So if you're doing a reading for an individual, right? And this individual is sitting in front of you, this individual is a man. All right? You're doing a reading for a man. Okay? Now remember, these are generally speaking collective reads, all right? You're telling me if your first card that comes out, okay, is the Empress, the first thing you're going to do is tell this person that there must be some female somewhere. Who is this woman in your life? Is this what you're gonna say? If the first card comes out and you have somebody sitting in front of you, okay, you're doing a personal reading for somebody. And now remember, these are collective reads if you're doing it online. We get that part, right? Okay. That is not a female. Could be a feminine energy. Okay. I need each of you, all of you, to understand quite clearly that the female, okay, is nowhere in the tarot deck. These are not men, these are not women. These are only energies. Anybody looking for any type of different indication of what these different cards might be, you're just wasting your time. And this is why my name is Tarot Messiah. I didn't give myself this name. This is something that I stepped into. This is something that I accepted, something that God gave me, and I decided to give it back. Well, actually, I don't have a choice, but we all have free will. If I pull away when I know I have to correct something, then I receive a punishment for that. So I continue to do whatever God asks me to do, so I don't receive punishments for that. It's too many readers out here saying, "Oh, it's Queen of Cups. This is a motherly energy." Listen to me. Um, a man can offer a motherly energy. Sometimes better than a woman can. Do not mistake, do not ever mistake the fact that, okay, we have a female on this card. So we're talking about a female. No, we're not. These are just energies. There's 78, sometimes 79 energies in a deck. None of them, okay, have a male, phallic, female, private part. Okay. There's no private parts in any of those. Okay. These are just energies. So let's get back to basics. Another thing, a lot of you readers got to stop. You got to put a stop to this. You have to stop. Please stop coming online. You're not even turning cards. It's so sad now. It then got to the point of brainwashing and manipulation. You get to some readers, like Wendy, she's stealing people's, Wendy, I think it's called Wendy Intuitive Tarot or something like that. It's this picture of a stupid ass white lady with some big ass doofy black frame glasses on. All right. She steal other readers' readings and she posts them as if they're her own. All right. Now, the way that you'll know that you're watching something fraudulent is because, of course, you won't see the reader, you won't see hands, you won't see anything. Chiron goes as far as making sure that he puts a public announcement during his reading, so this way, you can steal it if you want to, but you have to do some major editing, so it's not so easy to just lift his, material. He doesn't make it user friendly for you to just lift it off of him. And with that being said, let me keep moving forward. In order for you to make sure that you are receiving the information as you should, it would be wise to look at the picture. And if you look at the picture and you see that of course, you have, an outlay of cards, you can hear somebody shuffling in the background, supposedly, but you don't actually see any cards being turned over. You're being robbed. All right. You don't want to be robbed, then, do the right thing and make sure that you're watching an intuitive tarot reader who is actually reading the cards, not, um, you know, somebody who is, jacking somebody else's material and then offering it up as their own. Okay. Um, if you believe that that's what's taking place, don't support them. And I also want you guys to, for a tarot reader specifically, okay, I want you guys to make sure that you stop calling the Empress pregnant. Okay, somebody could be pregnant. Okay, now wait a minute, man. 90% of your viewers are males. Okay, so that eliminated 90% of your viewers. All right. The other 10%, okay, 5% of them could be transgender, not fully transformed. Okay. So now you got 5% that are watching you. Of the 5%, 3% had a hysterectomy. You have 2% that's left over. I mean, come on now. Let's be realistic here. Stop freestyling. This is the most aggravating, irritating thing ever. Intuitive tarot readers do watch other intuitive tarot readers. Real recognize real, but real recognize fake just as quick. You want to make sure that you're giving the people the most accurate information. You want to be considered one of the top dogs. Okay, let me tell you something. If you got 500,000 subscribers, you're not a top dog. Why is this? Many will come, few will be chosen. So many will come to those who just have the lead. They feel like, well, this person has 500,000 subscribers. This person must be doing something right. No, that's wrong. Let me tell you something. A lot of these so-called intuitive female tarot readers, um, I can't take that call right now. A lot of these so-called intuitive tarot readers, they were shaking booty, trying on yoga pants, things of this nature prior to becoming a so-called tarot reader. All right. This is where they got their views from. You got a lot of girls that are tarot readers, and let's just be realistic. If you Google, okay, who the true psychic in the true psychics are, you'll see that they're water signs. Top of that list, Pisces. All right, so I'm not saying that everybody who's most accurate, um, readings, find a Pisces. Okay, even a Pisces who never picked up a card before in their life, chances are this person is very psychic. Just to have a conversation with a Pisces. While I'm on the subject of Pisces, okay, in the tarot community, and I've been thinking about creating a deck of cards to solve this problem. Um, in the tarot community, there's a lot of rhetoric about Pisces, but I need you guys to understand the reason why there's a lot of rhetoric about a Pisces, oh, Pisces, oh, Pisces. The reason why it's like that is because Pisces take the cake, Pisces take the crown, okay? That's number one. Then number two, um, just because a person is a Pisces doesn't necessarily make that person some aloof character, some aloof figure that is incapable of thinking outside the box. That would be foolish. That would be foolish. For example, I'm a Pisces, but I think I might have one or two placements that are Pisces actually in my chart. Leo North Node. Nothing about me is Pisces. Almost everything about me is Leo. But again, if you we got to stop with this generalizing. For example, and I'll spin it like this. You might be a Libra. If you go to a Libra tarot card reader, you may find that nothing that these Libra tarot card readers are saying applies to you. There's a very good reason for this. Your birth chart might have 90% of it, we'll just say Scorpio. So you might be looking for yourself in Libra, but it's not clicking. So you have to go to Scorpio. Now that I have presented this in this way, go take a look. A lot of people will say, well, I'm Pisces sun sign and I have, Venus moon. So I look at Pisces and I look at Virgo readings. Yeah, but 90% of your birth chart is Sagittarius. Why don't you give it a try? Why don't you take a look at Sagittarius and see if it's clicking more? Another thing, there's a big difference between manifesting, okay, speaking something into existence and actually chasing it down, because faith without work is moot. It's worthless, okay? Why don't why don't you guys, when you're looking at these readings, if you see that it's not applying, for example, you might be a Virgo. You're looking at these Virgo readings, and with hopes that what this person is saying is going to come true. No, now what's happening is you're idolizing a person, you're worshiping a person, you're using the words that this person is saying, and you're making a wish off of it. Tarot is not a wish foundation, okay? Tarot is a guide, okay? And when we talking to the collective, let's make sure that we're giving them guidance. All right, I'm listening to these tarot card readers, and I keep my mouth shut most of the time. This one lady said that a lady in her church came to another lady's funeral where her son was killed with a grin on her face because of something that happened before, where the lady told her, God is going to get you back. Now, listen to what just took place here. This is what happened with two members of a church. They disagreed with each other. They fell out with each other. So what they decided to do was what? Secretly start, um, uh, conjuring against the other member. I mean, let's be realistic here. This is unacceptable. And to hear a reader say something like this and then keep it going, I said it, I dropped the bomb to prove a point over here. No, you're wrong. You are showing us exactly what's in your heart. And this is not what tarot is for. Tarot is not designed for people to put their own personal opinion inside of a situation. You could say, if it were me, I would do this, but that's just me. What you do is on you. But you do not have the right to take the free will of the people. You should be mindful of what you let come out your mouth. You should watch your mouth. You should watch your tongue. You don't got a right to mislead people. And nobody is concerned with what you would do. Keep it simple. You're going to read the cards. You got a lot of these so-called tarot card readers. They're not tarot card readers. You do not hear them shuffle a card, nor do you hear them place a card. You hear them go on a tangent, a rant, a rave. They don't show their face. These people are brainwashing the people. This is a problem. This is something that we need to stay away from. This is something that, if you care about your soul, you will stay away from. So let me run it back again. Stop calling every female in the tarot card deck a female. Stop saying that this Queen of Cups is a mother. Okay? Sure, it says that. Okay? But I thought that you was born in modern day times. I'm not asking you to change the concept of the car. I'm asking you to use your brain, okay, when you open up your mouth. Do not be of those people where on the day of resurrection, you being dragged into the hellfire by your tongue, your lying, sinful tongue. If you want to give it to the people, give it to them in a 3D sense. Give it to them in a way that they can understand. So yeah, the Queen of Cups is considered a nurturing energy, a motherly energy. But be real. Say, this could be a man, okay? Gender is fluid, which means there is no gender, which means you're just reading energy, which means you should be mindful on how you pronounce your cards as you read them and how simple it is for you to take your time as you're reading these cards to make sure that as you're reading these cards, you're doing it in a fair, neutral, and balanced way. If you do it any other way, you will be of those people, okay, who will go to the hellfire. Why? Tarot is a sin if you apply it the way you want to apply it. If you present it the way you want to present it. Tarot is not designed for you to take the wheel. Tarot was given to mankind as a trial, as a test. It was not given to mankind for them to go free ball. Everybody that's a Christian, tell me something. I think it's about 177,000 or so different variations and different, methods with respect to how, Christianity is actually applied. With that being said, let's not take tarot, okay? Let's not take tarot and twist it and redevelop it. Let's not recreate the wheel. See, if you keep it simple, I promise you, you'll be more accurate. This is not a counseling session. So many women, and it's women, so many women get behind the mic and turn tarot into a counseling session. No, listen to me. You keep your counseling session and stick it somewhere. If you're here to read the cards, keep your personal opinion to yourself. Do not use the cards to inject venom. Do not use the cards as a weapon against an argument that you had earlier in the day with another neighbor that you know is going to come across your reading. See, because those people, they go around saying, yeah, I got a tarot channel. You should check me out sometime. No, what are you talking about? Many will come, few will be chosen. Let God send you your clientele. Let God give you that blessing. Don't manufacture it. So now you're on the mic. Now all of a sudden, you then took your reading and turned it into a shooting competition against the neighbor that you know is eventually going to get it to express your personal opinion, feelings, or thoughts. You're lying on the cards. You start turning over the cards. Uh, Queen of Cups. See, somebody, this is a mother who is this, that, and the third. No, 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 no. You poisoning households. You are brainwashing people. You taking away from people free will. Who are you to take away the free will of mankind? Who are you? Because the last I checked, the only person that even thinks about manipulating, bending, or sampling a person's free will is the devil. Is the devil. So if you understand that free will is God's guarantee to mankind, who are you? Why are you doing this? This is why my name is Tarot Messiah. There's been many attempts to crash me, crash all of my channels. You will never be able to do that. This is something that God gave me, and I can do what I want to do with it. But one thing I will not do with it is manipulate, play games, try to bend people's free will, or redirect the people into a different direction to where it turns into a following or a cult like environment. Anybody that's turning these cards, please take heed to this warning. Do not manipulate man's free will. Do not set out to bend people's free will. Do not set out to brainwash people with your personal opinion or feelings. Understand, there are some people that get these videos and they don't have a neighbor for miles. The only people that they deal with is Bambi, Cinderella, and the Seven Dwarfs. They don't have no real contact with nobody. Some people is rich and they live on a mountain and that's where they are. They don't have no friends. And when they come down, they're mingling for a second, shopping for a second, and they retreating back to where they feel most peaceful and most safe. If you keep these cards simple, life will be simple. God will send you the traffic that you need. It might not be quick traffic, but it will be traffic. It doesn't matter if you just get one person to listen to you. Don't worry about it. Memorialize the video and let it sit there. And it may be 10 years after you posted that one video that it gets 30,000 views. If you're not bending people's free will, manipulating people, believe me when I tell you, you most certainly those who may receive God's shade on the day of resurrection, where there will be no shade or mercy except His. With that being said, I hope it's something that I said that reached somebody somewhere where what they were doing before, they will renegotiate moving forward, and they may not make that mistake again. Because this is very serious. It's very serious to try to manipulate the free will of mankind by injecting personal opinion and or feelings into your reading. There's a lot of people who do not do that. I like Familiar, and you know who I'm talking about, or you don't. But one thing I don't like about her, Jennifer, is that she put too much of her emotion inside the reading. She's a Pisces. Oh my God, that woman is sharp. But her emotion gets caught up in the reading, and that gives it a turn. You can't do that. Just keep it simple. Another thing that people need to understand as well, there's a card. Well, let me say this, because there's many cards. There's 78 or 79 of them. If you really want to get deep with the cards, stop taking a superficial application to the card. Somebody's lying, cheating, stealing. That's not what that card is, and it just totally annoys me that this is what people say. Look at the card. Do the research on the origin of the card, okay? This was a spy who got behind enemy lines, became friends with the enemy, learned what he had to learn from the enemy. This man ended up walking away with swords and weapon and ammo and everything else and the plans of the enemy, and made it back across to the opposition. Okay? This is somebody who gets close to you. All right? They don't necessarily have to lie, cheat, or steal. All right? Look at the origin of the card before you start saying there's somebody lying, cheating, stealing. Well, that's a superficial response that everybody is saying, and it has spread like a wildfire. But do you know what you're saying? Now, you could say you're right because you hear everybody else saying what they're saying, but where did you learn? Do you have any background on this? Were you taught? Are you self-taught? Is God guiding you? Let's not forget, I'm the one that God told there would be two moons in the sky. on the day of the eclipse. And sure enough, there was two moons. And I said within the next 12 to 24 hours. And by Allah, it happened. Okay? Now, if you feel like you can tell me something, I'm more than willing to listen. But let me tell you something. I received my guidance from my Lord. I'm tried, proven, and true. And one thing I'm not going to do is bite my tongue, especially for you. Let that be a warning. I told people about a year ago, maybe about 18 months ago, I said, you're going to see these tarot card readers dry up and disappear. This is so, okay, so that I can come about. Now, I've been about. But this is so that when I have time to dedicate it to the people, everything is on God's timing, anyways. Everything that I will say at that time will make sense. That's why I locked up so many of the videos. I locked them up because y'all wasn't ready for them then. Okay? Y'all wasn't ready for them then. But as I start to re-release them, and I won't do it until I start picking up some momentum, when God is showing me that it's time now. When I start to pick up the momentum, and I see that there is a solid foundation again, it is everything that God gave me got a solid foundation. Let me make that clear. But as I see that there is a following here, this is when I'll start to re-release things. Like, I took a snippet of when I predicted by God's leave that there would be two moons in the Earth's atmosphere during the solar eclipse. I locked that video up. I locked that video up because I was petrified then when he said that to me. I was like, everything is writing on what it is that you're saying to me, and I'm petrified because how could there possibly be two moons in the Earth's atmosphere? What is going to happen? Something catastrophic? I was petrified. And when I went to go look and see what happened when I woke up, I saw that there were days later there were videos that said two moons in the Earth's atmosphere baffled scientists all over the world. But this is something that I told y'all what happened that very same day. So if it's a tarot card reader, and I'm just giving you one thing, okay? But if there's a tarot card reader that feel like they could tell me something, or you got something that you want to say, you could always say it. I'm always going to listen. But I also understand that there may be something that you can teach me, and I'm more than willing to listen. I'm more than willing to listen. Finally, before I leave, I'm going to say it because the time is here. I know that the time is here, and I'm standing in that time frame. There is a woman who is a tarot card reader that will be my wife. This woman may or may not already be doing tarot cards online. I'm still looking for her. There are two women that I like. Uh, one of them, I know she looked like she don't want nobody black in her family, and something, I'm okay with that. But as it grew on me more and more from the last time I talked to her, I seem to like have a respect for her less and less because of that. I just think that, sure, that's your personal opinion, that's your personal preference, but is that, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I really don't. I just kind of, everybody is prejudiced. Everybody, okay? Everybody doesn't like something, okay? Everybody doesn't like somebody, or everybody might not like a particular group of people. This is all understandable. This is in everybody's heart. Everybody. However, it does come to a point where it's like, if you don't break the generational curse in your family, or if there's some resistance in breaking a generational curse in your family, then when I look at it a little deeper, I say, well, your family's cursed. Why would I want to? There's a blessing that's there, but it's being rejected. So I'm just like, maybe I should just leave that alone. Then there's another one, all the way down south, 10 hours away from where I'm at now. Beautiful woman, beautiful soul, highly talented, raps, sings, dances, comic. I mean, you name it, this child has videos from when she was much younger, you know, all the way up into adulthood. This woman was born to be behind the camera. This is a woman that I could see having success with. When I look at the other one, I also see having success with that person, but I just feel like color is a barrier. And I'm okay with that. But I also know that since I have come to the conclusion that I have free will in that situation and have elected to not step foot towards that situation, I know that that is going to bring that family a curse because there was something that could have happened, but it didn't happen because a person had a personal opinion about color that was knee deep inside the soul, but on the surface, uh, it didn't exist because this person saw that I pick up a deck of cards and I'll tell her what color draws she got on. And I'm extremely accurate. And I think there is a respect for it as far as that's concerned. And I said, because she sends me videos and asks me to post them, but I said, if you are truly biased, should I really take your videos and post them? I mean, if I'm not good enough for anything else, why would I be good just to promote you? I don't think that that's fair. And never, not one time, did she ever send me one penny. And it made me say to myself, did she never not send me one penny because I'm black? So, I had to kind of like look at that, I had to look at the bigger picture of that situation. And even though I have no bias or prejudice towards her, I had to say to myself that may not be something that I should probably, you know, entertain too much. It's probably time for me to back away from that situation. Unless or until she makes something right. Which I remember before, God kind of admonished her for never giving me one penny, but telling her and warning her about many, many things that happened all back to back to back, including deaths. And I refrained from picking up cards and, looking into a situation with her and her family nowadays. But this is because I guess God had already created and crafted it to come to a cease and desist based on a person's inability to see beyond skin color. So I'm saying all of that to say this. There is a woman out there who handles cards. You may be online, you may not be, but you will be my wife. I can't wait to find you, and I will continue to say this until I find this woman. Oh, but believe me, many will come, few will be chosen. If God don't allow it to happen, it won't happen. Um, if there is no way it could happen, I will be the first person to tell you, because God will make it very clear to me it will never happen. Okay. So, anyways, be mindful how you read these cards. Know that energy is fluid. Know that gender is fluid. In other words, there is no gender. Now, masculine doesn't necessarily mean you're a man. Okay? Doesn't mean that you're a man. There are females that have more masculinity than the most masculine man on the face of the earth. Just trust me. I know. You can't tell her nothing. She thinks she the man. You the woman. It don't matter if you a man. She's not looking at it like that. Just trust me. So, y'all keep rocking with me. I'm gonna keep rocking with you. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.